Okay, it is 2 after, so I think we'll begin. And without further ado, we'll have Sarah start talking to you about the 10 best practices for working with a nearshore provider in 2023.
All right, thank you, Danielle. Yes, and welcome everyone to this session being hosted by Doctus, an Adage Technologies company. My name is Sarah Bortson, and I have been at Adage now for over 15 years, where I lead our growth team, and we are a premier provider of advanced digital solutions. I do have a real passion for driving customer success, and I'm excited to share everything that we've learned with Doctus and Adage's partnership over the last year or so. So in today's agenda, we'll start with a brief introduction and then move into nearshore success metrics and benefits. We'll go through 10 best practices and then a case study and testimonial before finishing up with Q&A. So to start, in this session, we're going to explore the importance of building strong relationships, learn how to nurture a knowledge transfer, and foster continuous improvement. These 3 areas will continue to come up as key themes to a successful nearshore partnership throughout the session. Looking first at some nearshore success metrics. Worldwide, about 42% of global outsourcing deals come from North America and South America. In the United States, roughly 300,000 US jobs are outsourced each year. 66% of businesses outsource at least one department. 59% of businesses cite cost as the biggest reason for outsourcing, and 26% of small businesses outsource to get help from an expert. Information technology is the leading industry and business department for outsourcing, with about 30% of IT tasks being outsourced. Most global outsourcing revenue is generated through the information technology sector, and $66.5 billion was generated by information technology outsourcing, and $26 billion generated by business process outsourcing in 2019. Looking at Latin America, it's a popular destination for nearshore development due to its proximity to the United States, its strong pool of talented engineering professionals, and its favorable time zone. The software industry in LATAM has been growing significantly in recent years, and the region is home to a number of globally recognized tech companies and startups, including Colombia, where Doctus is based. According to a report from La Repubblica, since the Colombian government began promoting nearshoring in 2019, the country has attracted over 5,000 tech companies, 60,000 entrepreneurs, and $1 billion in investment from nearshore opportunities, representing almost 20% growth. Looking specifically to Medellin, the home of Doctus, Medellin received the Nearshore America's 2019 Nearshore Destination of the Year award as recognition for its growth in the software development outsourcing space and its overall impact on the nearshore industry. In 2019, Medellin became the first and only Spanish-speaking city to join the World Economic Forum's Center for the Fourth Industrial Revolution, alongside other tech giants such as San Francisco, Tokyo, Beijing, and Mumbai. Let's take a look at some nearshore benefits. You're likely already familiar with a few of these benefits of working with a nearshore partner located in Colombia like Doctus. For example, most Latin American countries share a cultural affinity with similar values to those in the United States. There's typically a strong language proficiency with upper, intermediate, and advanced English. There's proximity and time zone alignment to encourage seamless communication. And as already has been cited as one of the primary reasons, the cost efficiency and competitive pricing allows you to optimize your resources. The talent pool and expertise of qualified and expert professionals is strong. There's scalability and flexibility, allowing you to update and adapt your operations quickly. And finally, risk mitigation and proximity advantage with enhanced project oversight make for a strong partnership. So let's jump in. Here are our 10 best practices for successfully working with a nearshore provider in the current landscape. We're going to spend a little bit of time on each of these, so I'll go ahead and jump to number 1. So you need to define clear objectives when you're working with a nearshore provider by following these steps. First, understand your business needs. Begin by gaining a comprehensive understanding of your organization's needs and project requirements. Identify the specific outcomes and goals you want to achieve through the collaboration. Break down objectives into smaller, measurable, and achievable targets. This helps create clarity and allows for better tracking of progress. Make objectives specific and concrete. Avoid vague or ambiguous language. Use measurable metrics or criteria to define success, such as revenue targets, customer satisfaction ratings, or project completion milestones. Align objectives with stakeholders. By engaging relevant stakeholders, both within your organization and the nearshore provider, you can assure alignment of objectives. Seek input from key decision makers, project managers, and team members to gain different perspectives and establish a shared understanding. Specifically, communicate expectations. Provide detailed information on desired outcomes, deliverables, and performance expectations. Use visual aids, documentation, and project briefs to ensure clarity. Seek input from the nearshore provider. Encourage them to provide their insights and recommendations regarding the objectives. Their expertise and experience can contribute valuable perspectives that align with the project's success. Refine and document your objectives. Engage in collaborative discussions with the nearshore provider to address any potential discrepancies or gaps, ensuring a shared vision and understanding. Document the agreed upon objectives in a formalized project plan or agreement. This document should be accessible to all relevant stakeholders and serve as a point of reference throughout the project. And finally, regularly review and update objectives. As the project progresses and circumstances change, regularly assess whether the objectives are still relevant and adjust them if necessary. Don't forget to communicate objectives internally. This helps align internal teams, fosters accountability, and ensures everyone is working towards the same goal. Defining clear objectives with your nearshore partner sets a solid foundation for a successful collaboration. Next, number 2, select the right provider. You need to determine the criteria for selecting the most suitable nearshore provider for your organization. Consider factors such as expertise, cultural fit, and communication capabilities. This can include your tech stack, business industry knowledge, as well as cultural alignment and any personality assessments. Finally, the time zone is one of the top priorities for many companies, again, making nearshore providers particularly appealing over outsourcing and offshoring. Establish effective communication channels with your nearshore provider. This is crucial for the success of any collaboration. We have found success with the examples shown here. Determine the preferred communication channels, including email, phone, video, chat, project management software, and other collaborative platforms. Consider those time zone differences and availability of both parties when choosing the channels. Define clear communication protocols, including response times and the expected frequency of communication. Assign dedicated points of contact at both companies. Establish regular communication schedules like daily or weekly check-ins, progress updates, and status meetings. Regular communication helps build rapport and ensures both teams are on the same page. Utilize video conferencing and screen sharing as visual communication facilitates better understanding and allows for nonverbal cues to be exchanged. Foster an open and transparent communication culture. Use project management and collaboration tools that enable efficient communication, task management, and document sharing to enhance productivity. Provide clear and concise instructions. Establish a loop, encouraging regular feedback from both parties to improve the communication process. And foster relationship building activities alongside work-related communication, such as virtual team building exercises, social events, or informal discussions to build camaraderie and trust. Strong relationships facilitate better communication and collaboration. Next, build a strong relationship. First, establish mutual respect. Build trust and reliability. Set clear expectations and accountability. Invest in relationship building and aim for a win-win approach. Remember, building a strong relationship with a provider takes time and effort. Consistently apply these fundamental tips and you'll be on your way to establishing a successful and mutually beneficial partnership. Each tip plays a crucial role in building a strong relationship with a provider. By incorporating these practices into your interactions, you can cultivate a partnership based on trust, collaboration, and respect. Number 4, facilitate alignment and cultivate open dialogue with every individual using this invaluable tool for enhanced collaboration and constructive feedback. An area where I've found Doctus to be particularly strong is in relationship building. An area where Doctus is particularly strong at relationship building is in facilitating alignment and cultivating open dialogue through routinely encouraging feedback as a standardized process like the performance grading shown here. Using a framework like this helps to ensure feedback remains honest and impactful. 5, embrace cultural differences. Embracing and leveraging cultural diversity when working with a nearshore provider can enhance collaboration and improve project outcomes. Understanding the value of cultural sensitivity and open-mindedness to foster a harmonious working environment. There are 3 key ways we've found to accomplish this. First, with cultural awareness and embracing this. Cultivate your cultural awareness. Encourage team members to learn about, value, and celebrate different cultures, customs, and communication styles to foster understanding and empathy. For example, recognize cultural holidays and traditions, allowing team members to share their customs and expectations. This fosters a sense of belonging and strengthens team cohesion. Establish open and inclusive communication channels that allow team members to freely express their thoughts and concerns by encouraging active listening and adapting communication styles based on language barriers, nonverbal cues, and differing communication styles, adjusting your communication accordingly. And finally, set a strong internal culture via team building activities that promote cultural exchange and collaboration, leading by example and encouraging diversity and inclusion. Number 6, implementing Agile practices. Establish effective Agile practices to monitor progress, track milestones, and ensure on-time delivery. Define key performance indicators or KPIs and implement an Agile methodology that suits both teams. Choose an Agile framework that aligns with your project requirements and team dynamics. Common frameworks include Scrum, Kanban, or Lean Agile. Consider the nearshore provider's familiarity and expertise with the chosen framework. Foster Agile ceremonies and embracing Agile principles by fostering continuous improvement will enable effective collaboration, alignment, and achievement of your objectives and goals. Number 7, define roles and responsibilities. When working with a provider, it is crucial to define clear roles and responsibilities to ensure a shared understanding of expectations and deliverables. Effective onboarding and initial alignment are essential for gaining a clear understanding of the tasks at hand and establishing a productive work approach. The Scrum Master and Project Owner must have continuous, transparent communication and follow-ups to evaluate and understand the team's evolution. Architects and technical leads often work together on client teams, managing different projects with separate epics and backlogs. This collaboration optimizes performance, leverages expertise, and delivers marketable project outcomes. You should understand Agile principles, familiarizing yourself with those principles, values, and methodologies. Understand the roles in Agile frameworks, including the project owner or product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. Identify core roles. Identifying these core roles required for your project and determine who fulfills these roles within your organization and the nearshore provider's team. Collaborate on this team structure, engaging in collaborative discussions with the nearshore provider to determine the optimal team structure. Define the roles and responsibilities that align with Agile principles and distribute them between your team and the nearshore provider's team. Define product and project owner responsibilities specifically. Clarify these responsibilities as this role acts as the primary liaison between your organization and the nearshore provider. Typical responsibilities include defining and prioritizing the product backlog, ensuring a clear vision, and making timely decisions. Establish the Scrum Master role. Define the responsibilities of the Scrum Master, who facilitates the Agile process, removes obstacles, and ensures adherence to Agile principles. Determine whether the Scrum Master will be from your organization or the nearshore provider's team. Determine the development team roles as well. Collaborate with the nearshore provider to define the roles within the development team. This typically includes software developers, testers, other specialists. Clearly define these responsibilities such as coding, testing, documentation, and collaboration. Foster that collaboration and communication. Encourage self-organization. Document all of the roles and responsibilities. And again, be sure to regularly review and adapt. Defining these roles and responsibilities should also involve making sure you have the right people in the right seats. This concept comes from an organization called EOS, which stands for the Entrepreneurial Operating System, and is found in their book Traction. The concept here is that you want to have the right people. So people who share and embody the core values and exhibit those core values on a day-to-day basis. So they really align culturally with your organization, as well as then the right seats. So what is the role? Is it something that's needed within the group? And is the right person in it? To determine that, you'll want to check to make sure, do they get it? Do they really understand and align with the role at its core? Do they want it? Do they want to be doing this work? And then do they have the capacity to do it? The chart here on the right shows the people analyzer, which the EOS system, along with the book Traction, recommend you review quarterly. So you put in the names of all of your team on here, and then you check to make sure, do they align with your core values? And do they have the get it, want it, and capacity to do alignment required for the role? Number 8, you need to nurture knowledge transfers. By implementing the ideas shown here, you can enhance knowledge transfer between a nearshore provider and the client, enabling the effective sharing of expertise, fostering skill development, and promoting continuous improvement. Develop a comprehensive knowledge transfer plan. This should be structured and outline specific topics, skills, and information. It should include the timeline, deliverables, and responsible parties. You'll want to conduct shadowing and cross-team collaboration. This will encourage members from both sides to engage in each other's activities, understanding what can be gained from firsthand expertise and knowledge. Implement pair programming and pair testing. Establish communities of practice. Encourage documentation and knowledge sharing artifacts. Foster a culture of documentation and knowledge sharing by encouraging team members to create technical documents, code samples, tutorials, or video recordings that capture important insights and lessons learned. Make these artifacts easily accessible to the entire team. Provide access to shared tools and platforms. Implement knowledge transfer workshops. Encourage regular technical presentations where team members from both sides share their expertise, present innovative ideas, or showcase successful project implementations. This allows for cross-pollination of knowledge and fosters a culture of continuous learning. Provide access to learning resources and capture and share those lessons learned. By implementing these ideas, again, you can enhance knowledge transfer between a nearshore provider and client. Number 9, mitigate risks. Nearshore outsourcing offers many advantages, but it also comes with potential risks and challenges. Here are some common risks and challenges associated with nearshore outsourcing and effective mitigation strategies. You'll want to outline your own risks and develop mitigation strategies with your nearshore provider to ensure a successful and mutually beneficial partnership with the provider. As you can see here, some of the risks include the legal and regulatory compliance, vendor dependency, project management, transition and knowledge transfer, and economic and political stability. And number 10, continuous improvement and feedback. Foster a culture of continuous improvement through feedback loops and performance evaluations. Learn how to drive innovation and optimize the partnership with your nearshore provider. To drive continuous improvement through feedback loops and performance evaluations in a software development company working with a nearshore provider, consider the following approach. Establish collaborative feedback channels. Foster open communication between the onshore and nearshore teams. Implement regular feedback channels such as virtual meetings, video conferences, and instant messaging platforms to facilitate real-time feedback exchange and discussions. Define clear performance metrics. Establish clear and measurable performance metrics that align with the company's goals and project objectives. Ensure these metrics are communicated to the nearshore provider, setting expectations for performance evaluation. Conduct regular performance evaluations. Schedule periodic performance evaluations for both the onshore and nearshore teams. These evaluations should include feedback from project managers, team leads, and relevant stakeholders. Assess performance against predefined metrics, provide constructive feedback, and identify areas for improvement. Encourage two-way feedback. Promote a culture of two-way feedback between the onshore and nearshore teams, encouraging team members to share their insights, suggestions, and concerns regarding the collaboration, process, and project execution. This fosters an environment where feedback is valued and acted upon. Collaborate with retrospectives. Conduct joint retrospectives with representatives from both the onshore and nearshore teams at the end of project milestones and sprints. Reflect on successes, challenges, and lessons learned. Discuss improvement opportunities and collaboratively identify actionable steps to enhance collaboration and project delivery. Provide training and skill development. Emphasize continuous learning. Foster trust and collaboration. And monitor and measure progress. Regularly monitoring and measuring progress of improvement initiatives will help assess the impact and feedback loops and performance evaluations on project outcomes, productivity, and team satisfaction. Use data-driven insights to identify the areas that require further attention or adjustment. And perhaps most importantly, celebrate your achievements and recognize contributions. By recognizing and celebrating achievements, milestones, and contributions from both the offshore and nearshore teams, you can reinforce a positive and motivating work environment. By following these practices, a software development company working with a nearshore provider can establish effective feedback loops and performance evaluations that drive continuous improvement, collaboration, and success in their projects. And after our top 10 now, we're going to move into our case study. The client is a US business consultant with more than 60 years of experience in accounting, taxes, assurance, and risk advisory. The challenge was that the company did not have a dedicated UX UI designer, and they have multiple internal apps that they want to continuously improve and create new features for. Since they did not have a dedicated UX UI designer, they needed to find an external resource to build the app and make updates for them. They opted to use the Doctus staff augmentation service to hire a full-time UX UI designer, and their role is to serve as a comprehensive and cross-functional designer for the entire company. The success metrics that were seen were continuous UX UI and improvements in 6 apps and approximately 6 designs created every month, encompassing comprehensive changes to the app experience or minor tweaks to specific screens. And now for a testimonial directly from the client.
Needed additional capacity for 2 different projects. One was an application rewrite, and Doctus is rewriting the front end of that application. We've had excellent communication with the team. The product came in on budget. Also, our team has benefited from the documentation that they've provided along with the rewrite deliverable. In the other capacity, we did some staff augmentation by hiring a UI UX designer. This has been absolutely amazing. We've hired him for 3 days a week, and it's really helped us ideate much quicker. Staff from Doctus has all been very easy to work with. They pick up the applications relatively easily. They understand the business concepts. They are very well trained in their subject matter. And also their Scrum Masters and customer service people all keep me updated in everything, with everything that they're working on.
All right, and with that, I believe we can jump into Q&A.
Yes, anyone who has questions, feel free to type them into the Q&A chat. I see a few coming in. Let me go with the first one. Sarah, what industries do you work with?
Yeah, that's a great question. So primarily in manufacturing and related industries to that, so some construction. We also work with a variety of other industries beyond that, and it really runs the gamut. But anything with manufacturing in particular is a really strong suit.
Great, thanks. Our next one is for the personality assessment. Is that something that is conducted on the resources or for the client?
Oh, yeah. So that is something that is typically conducted just on the resources, so that then at Doctus there's a really strong understanding of the resources that are available to then partner with an organization considering nearshoring. However, if an organization was ever also interested in conducting an assessment like that, I think that could be a really fantastic and interesting idea to kind of see how the industry organization would best partner then with the nearshore provider.
Great, it's great to know. So then what you mentioned EOS. What are some of the other elements of EOS? How do I think know whether or not it might be a good thing for our company to look at?
Yeah, absolutely. So EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, is something that we've used for quite a long time. It's excellent for companies it's designed for entrepreneurial companies, as is in the name, but really organizations anywhere from the small to mid-sized business all the way up to enterprise level companies have used it. I think that it's most valuable when working on scaling your company. So it creates frameworks, and it also functions really well in an agile environment, allowing you to do both the agile 2-week sprints and that idea of sort of tackling what's most important first. And then EOS has this concept of setting a long-term vision and then a 3-year picture and then a 1-year plan of how to then get to that 3-year picture and further out vision. And then even within that 1-year plan, it's divided into then quarterly rocks. So how do we take where we need to be at the end of the year and break down those large initiatives into smaller pieces? I think anyone who is looking at establishing a framework for your company, or maybe someone who doesn't quite have super alignment and it's not the current framework you're using, maybe you've outgrown it or your business needs have changed, taking a look at EOS and the book Traction is a great place to start.
Great. And one final question that has come in. You talked about the ongoing evaluation. How often should you do an ongoing evaluation?
Yeah, that's also a good question. It's something where I would recommend quarterly at least would be the ideal. It's something though that you can try out, start somewhere. So try out with whatever you think sort of feels best. And then if you need to do it more frequently or less frequently, you can always adjust. But even just getting into that beginning idea of having a recurring cadence where you're going to pause and reflect. It's also, again, a very agile idea, that idea of, okay, let's see what we got through and where we want to go from here. But about quarterly would be the short answer.
Okay.